welcome to Bitstorm, a comedy game design podcast by two guys who know nothing about comedy nor game design. I'm Ben Slinger, and with me, as always, is Trevor Scott.
Yes, I am with you. Somehow.
The Scott Man, as I like to call you. By which I mean, have never called you.
Have never called me, no.
In the, nearly 30 years that we've known each other. Cool. What are we doing tonight, Trevor?
I think we're going to change it up a little bit. Let's, in the season that anything can happen, let's go with random movies.
Yeah. So this is something we've done before. It's not brand new, but we like to chuck it in there every now and then. So we have a random movie generator / selector in front of us each, and on the count of 3, 2, 1 click, we're going to get a movie from sometime in the last 100 years or something.
Yeah.
And we're going to use that to either come up with maybe a tie-in video game, or just take the title or the premise of the movie. We're just going to use it as a bit of a jumping off point to riff on games.
Yeah.
So I think let's go ahead and do it. 3, 2, 1 movie.
3, 2, 1 movie.
Dumb and Dumber 2.
That's the wrong 2 as well, isn't it? It's T.O.
Yes. T.O.
I've got a sequel as well. Problem Child 2.
Problem Child 2. Oh, these are similar eras, it feels like.
I don't know, 1991 versus 2000s.
2014 was Dumb and Dumber 2. When was the first one, though?
94, maybe,
I don't think I saw Dumb and Dumber 2 then. I thought that was like soon after it.
That was Dumb and Dumberer, which was a prequel, not starring the same people.
Oh, okay. That's what I was thinking of then. Yeah, Dumb and Dumber was 94. Okay. That's why I was thinking that was the same era.
Yeah.
But okay, it's later. So, that's, whatever. We'll take what we can from that.
Yeah.
So, one thing I kind of like about Dumb and Dumber from a game perspective is the two, having two characters switching off in some way.
Yeah.
Could be cool. Maybe dealing with a problem child.
Yep.
Of some sort.
2 of them.
Is that the premise of the sequel, or?
I mean, it kind of is. I just like the idea of, they both have a child that they've got to look after, and and I'm just imagining as a point and click adventure game, just then having to solve puzzles through you doing the stupidest thing possible.
Yeah. And the babies are constantly doing the kind of baby's day out thing of just getting themselves blindly into the most dangerous situations.
Yeah.
And do we go with, what is it, Lloyd and...
Harry and Lloyd.
Harry?
Yeah. Yep.
Do we go with that? Is it a Dumb and Dumber adventure?
Why not?
Yeah.
It's all fun. I feel like we don't need the license as such,
I mean, no. If we were actually making it, maybe we would, but okay. I kind of like a point and click adventure. Classic 2D as in Sierra / LucasArts style, I reckon.
Mm-hmm. But I do like the idea of going really, really stupid, as in...
Yeah.
As in, you go, oh, that can't be the solution.
The puzzles make no sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is probably going to be really frustrating for the player.
Could potentially be, but, if we, get them in a pre-chapter of, anything can be a solution to anything. Just try different things, and in this case, we will have a funny quip for why something will work or why it won't.
Oh, yeah. Well, and I think when you solve it, it needs to... I think it still needs to make a weird, dumb sense, right?
Yes.
It should work. It's just, it works in the weirdest, grossest, stupidest way possible. And
like, I can imagine why
additional
they want
repercussions.
Why they want to defrost the meat on the radiator. Because, that's...
Because they're hungry.
That's hungry. And if they're hungry, they think the baby's going to be hungry. And therefore,
then that's it. Like, why wouldn't you feed a baby half defrosted raw meat? Radiator meat. Exactly.
It was Harry's favourite snack as a kid.
This comes from a long line of dumberes, does Harry. I like that though, because that, like, you have to put yourselves in their headspace, and it's like, okay, well, what would make sense to someone who just had no common sense or knowledge about the world around them? Yeah.
I mean, for some reason, I'm just thinking one of them has to have a kazoo. And it's an answer to many, like...
You use it a lot.
You use it a lot. It doesn't actually...
A lot. You lose it a lot. You use it a lot.
But it doesn't actually really solve any puzzles. It's just, you can use it. But there is a puzzle that it will solve.
We literally just have the voice actors record every line of dialogue
through a kazoo.
With and without the kazoo. And you can just put it in your mouth at any time. And from that point, and while it's in there, you can barely understand them. And people around are just annoyed. You don't get the usual conversation trees over it either.
What you got to do though is use, because this is I'm seeing it as more the Lucas arts of verbs.
I think that's
you got to talk to the kazoo, and that's how you put it in your mouth and you start talking through it.
Mouth stuff, yeah.
You mouth stuff the kazoo. I thought we weren't supposed to be doing callbacks anymore.
Oh yeah. Well, it's still funny. Just the word mouth stuff.
Yeah.
Out of context. Cool. I like that.
Cool.
I like it a lot. 3-time movie. Yeah. Vacation Friends.
Ooh. The Quiet Earth.
Ooh.
After a top secret experiment misfires, a scientist may be the only man left alive in the world.
Interesting.
Yes.
Not heard of that. When is that from?
1985.
Okay. Vacation Friends is 2021, when a straight-laced couple that has fun with a rowdy couple on vacation in Mexico return to the States. They discover that the crazy couple they met in Mexico followed them back home and decide to play tricks on them. I
mean, this sounds...
I like the idea.
This sounds very much like the horror film Speak No Evil, but...
What, with everyone on Earth dying?
No, as in the Vacation Friends. I
haven't seen Speak No Evil.
Yeah. Basically, what happens in there is they become friends on like a vacation. Yeah. And they invite them to their house, and then when they go weird, they start doing weird shit to them. And
okay.
It gets pretty fucked up.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's certainly there's a bunch of movies that have that sort of idea. Not the horror bit necessarily, but like having annoying people latch onto you and want to be your friend. I like the idea that this experiment misfires. Everyone on Earth is killed except for the annoying vacation friends. So
and they just want to swing the whole time because, like,
well, there's no one left on Earth, so we might as well fuck. That's basically their thing. So yeah, I like this idea that like you're a scientist, or you and your partner are scientists.
Yeah.
You've been on this vacation recently. This couple has followed you back, shows up at your house, but that's when this experiment goes awry, and you, because you've got like a bunker panic room sort of thing, knowing that this was a possibility, you all end up in there together.
Yep.
The only ones still living. To to mix it up a little bit.
So what I
maybe the experiment was, instead of everyone dying, it's like a time bubble thing, and time has frozen for everyone else.
Well, what I was going to say is because of, radiation was detected and all that sort of stuff, the door doesn't open for like 6 weeks or until
right
after amount of time, just because some sort of radiation was detected. So you're living in this underground bunker that is, I'm thinking maybe 1 or 2 levels, because your plan is luxurious and this sort of stuff. Yeah. And just the idea of, over time, you think that you were the last ones left in the world, but you're stuck in here with this couple.
Right.
I kind of like.
So is the whole game set over those 6 weeks then? Do you reckon?
6 weeks, 1 week,
or whatever point, but like it's set in the bunker.
Yeah.
Okay, that could be fun. Like, yeah, I mean, it doesn't really matter what the disaster is.
You don't know. You're stuck inside this bunker. So all you have is your sensors, and your sensors detected radiation.
Yeah. So how does this play out in a game, do you reckon? How do you make it that these annoying people are here? And I feel like you want to make the player as annoyed as the characters are.
Mm-hmm.
And do they have any depth to them in the end, or are they just this comedic concept of people?
I don't know. I mean, I do like the idea of them just being a comedic concept of, or the concept of what we think is funny for people to do and act like. But also,
those movies often end with a realization of, oh, they might be annoying, but like they're good people, and
at heart,
when you finally when the sort of straight-laced people finally cross the line and blow up at them or whatever and really offend them, then it's like, oh shit, now I feel guilty because they were just trying to be good friends.
Yeah.
So you could have that sort of arc in there, but yeah, with this, and maybe you do get to see what happened outside, and everyone's fine. Like, you've spent this 6 weeks in there thinking, oh my God, like, we're going to be the last people left alive on Earth.
But what
just
it was,
the 4 of us.
It was actually like an earthquake, and the radiation that it detected was your smoke alarm dropped down, and just like, because it's got little radioactive components.
Yeah.
And it, it's something innocuous,
something like that. Or like, you and your partner are scientists, so like, you've got some gear around, and they're always telling you to put it away, and you didn't, and it like fell over and broke, and
it fell in front of the sensor and just had some uranium glass or something in there, which tricked the sensor off, and is like now it's smashed on the ground, but it's like it's not close enough to the sensor anymore, so it triggered it very briefly, but that's all it triggered. Like,
or something like there's something around. You technobabble your way through it, but I do like that idea of ending it with with everything being fine.
I thought it was pretty good that I remembered the smoke alarms do have like a little radioactive component in them.
Yes. Yes.
And I already had an answer for what this whole thing was caused by, so I'm pretty happy with that. Well, and
I think, the idea then that you have these super sensitive detectors because it's a very subtle thing that you're trying to do, whatever this experiment is. That if it goes wrong, it's going to be this small change in background radiation or something.
And just for it to detect that small little change, and it closes for 6 weeks.
It just shuts everything down for safety. Yeah. That's fun. I feel like this is maybe like a bit of a third person kind of thing, or even a first person, where you can just explore up and down, like, these 2 levels of this bunker.
There's also being VR, like...
Yeah.
Like having to...
sort of having these little scenes,
preparing meals and just regular life in this bunker, and,
But this dialogue playing out between the 2 couples as you, prepare the meals, but it's like, for each day.
You've got your rationed meals because you this is supposed to be enough supplies for a year or whatever, and all the supplies are ruined within the first 2 weeks or something like that. Like, I can just
because
imagine
these people are such fuck ups.
They left the door open, and all the
they unplugged the
freezer.
They unplugged the freezer from the generator so they could
plug
run the hair
in,
curler or something. The classic. Yeah, we know the tropes.
I just love
play into the tropes,
and so all they've got is cans of baked beans because they were on special. And the wife is going, "Oh, why didn't you get anything else but baked beans? It's going to make us fart."
It was 25 cents a can, and I bought them in bulk.
And
Costco, I couldn't go past it.
These couple I got for free because they had dents in them, so we'll eat them first. Did you remember to pack a can opener? Shit. And
there was a can opener, but again, they fucked something up because
that's something that he's got on his keyring that he goes, well, now you're coming to me for help and all this sort of stuff because it's he's got a bottle
opener or whatever.
So you got to go and
kind of go on hands and knees crawling back after you've yelled at them. Yeah, creates that tension. Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah, I love it. And the thing is, VR, you can make anything in VR fun. Yeah, I'm imagining using a bottle opener to have to open a can of beans all the way around it to loosen it up enough. I'm just thinking I'm thinking those, I guess it's a can opener, but where it just does the point.
Yeah.
If you know how to use them properly, you can actually get them to open pretty quickly. But,
yes, that's true. Yeah.
You don't. You don't know how to use it properly.
No, who does these days? He just uses it as a bottle opener. Mm-hmm. All right, 3-1 movie. Let's do another. Malignant.
Ooh, okay. The James Wan horror film. Very nice.
Seen it, yeah.
Snow Bride.
Snow Bride. That's Snow Bride.
Yeah. I'm thinking it might be a Snow White-esque sort of thing, but I'm also not sure.
Now I want to watch Malignant. Is it good?
Or is it not too bad? Not too bad.
Yeah.
Not too bad.
For those who haven't seen it, Madison is paralyzed by shocking visions of grisly murders, and her torment worsens as she discovers that these waking dreams are in fact terrifying realities with a mysterious tie to her past.
I could watch it again. I'd happily watch it with you.
We've got too many movies to watch.
I know we do. We've got way too many movies to watch. But anyway, that's okay.
Okay, so Malignant and Snow Bride.
Yeah. When a reporter encounters the eldest son of a famous political family at a mountain retreat, she winds up pretending to be his girlfriend over Christmas so he can save face with his family. Should she secretly expose newsworthy scoops about the famous family in order to save her job, or trust that she's falling in love for real?
Okay, so it's probably not Snow White.
No, doesn't sound like it. Now I've read that,
but no, that could be interesting though, because I like the idea of a sort of wacky
mountain
rom-com-ish sort of we're pretending to be
all over the
together. Yeah. It's we're having to pretend to be together, but you're having violent visions about grisly murders. Do I keep up the charade and deal with this in some way, or
I do like the idea of she's a reporter and this person who she's met who's part of this famous political
family. Yeah,
he's the one who's having these grisly visions and all this sort of stuff, and she's digging into the past and realizes
and then And then you just find out, oh, he's just a Trump and they're not visions, they're just fantasies. Because they're all fucking sociopaths. No, okay.
I know, I'm sort of seeing this as kind of a, maybe a Phoenix Wright style.
Yeah.
Visual novels.
Again, visual novel-esque.
With
definitely in the visual
puzzle.
novel headspace after PAX.
Yeah.
Seeing a lot of those in the indies.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can create some cool, like atmosphere in that space with sort of very little.
Yeah.
Which, works well for horror, I think. You're not showing.
I mean, you're
showing everything.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but you're also not like giving
everything.
There's not
away.
an expectation necessarily like, oh, we're going to see what the big bad thing is, or to even see what these visions are visually. It's just part of the, they're described in some ways through dialogue or through narration.
I like the idea of, you set up this thing and she's met this person and, they've thought that she was the girlfriend. She's recognized, she's the reporter. So she's like, let's keep this ruse going. You can save face a bit. And they sleep in different beds in this hotel. But each morning at like 3 a.m. he wakes up and, starts screaming. And, that's when she gets woken up as well. And, she finds out the story about, him having these shocking visions of, the grisly murders and all this sort of stuff. And I just like the idea.
So are you working together
maybe,
then you're using your sort of investigative reporting skills to work with him to like figure out where this is coming from, but also, maybe these things start getting scarier. Like instead of waking up screaming, the reporter wakes up
and he's standing over a bed.
And he's standing over a bed, exactly. Or in the bed with her, or like, but eyes wide open, or something.
Or, I mean, there's nothing creepier than waking up and you look in the corner and he's standing there but facing the corner. A la your Blair Witch sort of thing. Like, there's a
Very
reason
Blair
why
Witch,
that really works. And then, she goes over and notices that he's fast asleep. Like,
yeah.
And
and then there's some plausible deniability. It's like, oh, this guy's sleepwalking. He's having night terrors. But as you're hunting through things, I like the idea then that like, maybe instead of like a politician, he's like the heir to this hotel fortune, right? And so you're staying at the hotel of his family.
Yeah.
And you start finding stuff out in the archives that match up with the visions and this sort of thing. It's like you start finding evidence of the realities
and really
of what he's experiencing.
He's getting visions of murders that have happened in this hotel in the past.
Yes.
And then one day, another one of these murders has happened. And it starts a race against the clock because that when these murders there's 7 of them that happen over the 7 days. Like, so you've...
Right, okay, based on the past patterns. Okay, I see. Yeah. I thought you were saying that he also predicts them rather than just experiencing the ones that have already happened. But no, I kind of like that idea that it's just through your investigations now you've identified the pattern and now it's, oh shit, it's happening again.
I kind of like the idea that maybe you were already coming up here, like you're an unreliable narrator and you're already kind of on your way up here to investigate, like you've heard tales of these murders occurring at this hotel.
Yeah. Yeah, that could be interesting.
I like this. I like this a lot. Like you could definitely
because then you have that. Yeah, then you have that interesting tension as well, and depending on where you let the player in on her true intention. She likes the guy. Like he's actually a nice guy. Unlike so many, rich pricks.
Yeah,
he's a bit different.
Yeah.
Potentially because he's had all this trauma from experiencing these things for however long, but yeah, I like this. So then there's an interesting thing of, oh shit, like I'm here to throw his family under the bus. I'm finding out all this stuff, essentially using him then to get more information, but also likes the guy. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think visual novel style would work pretty well for that. I don't know how much you branch it necessarily.
I think
it's more about having some puzzles, and
it's very much like a Phoenix Wright, that there is a linear way through this, that you kind of get a branching thing of you need to find all this evidence before the next thing opens.
Yes.
And in fact, looking at visual novels, like Phoenix Wright is my favorite type of visual novel because, I just really enjoy those stories. And
I haven't actually played them in a long time, but there is
a
level there of like providing the evidence, right? You have to like select the right evidence or something after you've kind of gone through and visited everything. Yeah. Can you fail at that? Or do you get sort of unlimited tries?
During the court side of things, there's like a life meter sort of thing. There's a life meter during the trial, and during the other stuff. There's like psych locks that
That's what. Yeah. So essentially, but you just have to like get enough stuff right.
Get enough stuff to keep going. That, like through questioning and through presenting the right evidence at the right time to the right thing, and I think as a reporter, that could actually work really quite well. I don't think you have the life side of things.
I don't think you gamify it to that degree. No.
What you do have is, if you've got like the reporter's instinct sort of thing that you can go, now I'm going to, I can tell that they're lying, And
I think you unlock new stuff by essentially, like using that instinct, selecting the right, evidence or the right making those connections.
Yeah.
And that is maybe going to unlock some new dialogue as you then present that to someone and say, aha, like, but what about this?
I like the idea of having like, in your mind is just newspaper clippings, and that's your evidence sort of thing, that everything is basically as a newspaper clipping, so you can sort of...
You've got like the old-fashioned microfiche reader in your mind. That's just how you conceptualize evidence.
And you can zoom in, you can come back out, like...
Maybe tag stuff and like, some gamifying stuff of like quality of life stuff to let the player easily get back to something they wanted to... might need to know or whatever, but that's a fun game thing. Scrolling through the microfiche trying to find the relevant evidence.
100%. Oh, that's really cool. That's really cool. Let's just do
one more, I think.
One more quick one.
John Matrix, the former leader of a special commando strike force that always got the toughest jobs done, is forced back into action when his young daughter is kidnapped. This is 1985's Commando.
Oh, shit. That's got Alyssa Milano as the daughter, isn't it?
Oh, yes, maybe.
Yeah. And I've got Pacific Rim.
Ooh. Commando, getting a Pacific Rim. This is a porn game.
I kind of like the idea of this, former leader of
a mech,
of a
fighting
huge mech thing.
Yeah.
Gets called back in when his daughter, who is now part of the Pacific Rim strike team or whatever. So he has to come back in and save her from, a kaiju.
Right. Okay. What do they call it when they go in the... Because they, like, psychically connect to the mechs or something together?
Yeah.
They call it the... Entering the something.
I can't remember. It's been too long. But I like the idea that, his best friend, who... And the reason why he quit... is because his best friend died during one of the missions and, he never really recovered. So he's got to, he's got to, connect up with maybe his daughter's, partner in the mech.
Yeah.
I kind of like the idea that, he gets to know his daughter a little bit better through the connection with the partner. Because, of course,
right, because they create like a psychic link.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, I mean, it's been a long time since I've seen Pacific Rim as well, but the general idea is, you need two people to control these things.
Yeah.
They have to be in sync psychically, and it's sort of dangerous to them to be in there.
Yeah.
To a certain degree. Yeah, that's cool. I wonder if you could add something in, or maybe they had this in there, I can't remember, that, like, you can't go in there with someone who's, like, too close genetically to you or something.
Yeah.
Because of, like, brainwave, they cancel each other out because they're too similar or something.
I do like the idea.
Technobabble.
I do like the idea of the daughter's partner, is actually kind of like the secret antagonist in this. Like,
okay. Yeah.
He's actually the one that put her in danger in the first place, and like,
oh, maybe it's like the son of your partner who died, and he blames you for the death of his father.
Yeah.
Because he thinks that you weren't strong enough.
Until 6 months into being with the daughter and getting that psychic link a little bit more.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that maybe that in this there was, some sort of barrier up, and then when she fully trusted, he found out, oh, this is actually,
like,
fate.
Yeah, like basically the strength of that connection and that bond. Yeah. It's like, oh, there's no way he could have like purposefully let him die or whatever. It would have been so painful for him, that you sort of understand that. Understand that connection.
But he's also, effectively a really bad guy that.
Well, he's set things in motion now.
He's set things in motion
that he can't, undo. And so, does she find out through that? Is he able to hide it? Is he still keeping his barriers up? Is he able to hide what he's done? Or?
I think it's one of these things of, they did an unsanctioned sort of thing that, those guardrails are up for a reason. And they let the safeties go down, and this has enabled this. So
okay, I like that idea that that doesn't get revealed until later.
Yeah,
but essentially, when those guardrails were let down, he realized, oh shit, what have I done? Like, there's no way that her father could have done this on purpose with a bond like this. But I've set things in motion for her to be lost or die or potentially die or whatever.
I mean, do we want to do it that way, or do we want it that he's just a bad guy? Like, I kind of like.
Well, I feel like it adds something different to it, and then she finds out in that same moment, oh, you've set me up here, like, whatever it is, we won't go into deep, but it's irreversible. We're now out on this mission. Whatever we have to go through with it, or we're both going to die.
She gets captured. He gets out. The huge machine is a wreck. He's somehow ejected out, and then
he kind of has to play it up to save his own job and life. That this was this horrible accident, and then they call in her father, and then he's dealing with the guilt, but putting on this face of not knowing anything, and then it's at a certain point gets revealed, maybe even when they end up having to link to do this mech together, that this whole thing's happened.
And then it's like Phoenix Wright, and there's these cyclops that come up.
Well, I was thinking that you could do
all the evidence.
I think this could be an interesting, like, we haven't really talked about it, but this could still just be a cool mech fighting game. Yeah. Like, all of this exposition is happening in the background discussions going back and forth as you're like getting to your location. Like I'm thinking, do you remember how like TIE Fighter and stuff did it?
Yeah.
Where you'd have to like maybe travel for a few minutes to just get to, the location where a fight was going to happen. And there's just conversation going and stuff. And you're guiding it, you're controlling it. And in fact, I think maybe the earlier Mech Warrior games did a bit of that too, from what I recall. But yeah, I like that idea. And then you just have cool mech fights for a while. Yeah. And there's still some interjections and stuff, but most of the actual story stuff is happening kind of to and from and in between.
Yeah, it's the old walk and talk from, your GTA on the way to the next
basically,
thing.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, that's really cool.
Cool. I like that. All right, well, I think we'll end the episode there. Mm-hmm. If you'd like to find all of our previous episodes, go to podchaser.com/bitstorm, check them all out, leave a review if you liked this episode, and, tell us what you thought.
Yeah. If you like the song that we play at the start and end of each episode, that song is called Mount Defiance, off of the album Containment Failure by the band Kuradust. We were part of that band a long, long time ago in our youth. That was good fun. Yeah. Thanks to Rob for letting us use the track.
For the last. We didn't change it for season 2. We thought we might, but it fits too well.
I did think about going back to the original, Heavy Space, but
Heavy Space, yeah.
I've still got it there. I saw it there. I nearly put it on the video version the other day.
Should we bring back Eye of the Storm?
No.
The little bit in the middle there.
The little bit in the middle.
That was too much of a pain to find a good spot to shove that in there.
Yeah, it was horrible. And then, that was just for us somehow putting...
That was just for all the plugs and stuff.
All the plugs. But we now do them at the end, where they belong.
That's it.
Before the final amazing catchphrase that we always put at the same catchphrase that we put at the end of every single episode.
Every episode, it's the same. Hold out for it. You want it. So thank you again for joining us this week on Bitstorm. I'm Ben Slinger.
I'm Trevor Scott. And there it is.
that was it. And do you want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?